Hi there. I'm told that I am live on StreamYard. Should be connected to my Facebook page for Shape Good Habits, and to the private Facebook group called 911 Best Life Now, and my YouTube channel for Shape Good Habits. My name is Edie DeVilbus, and I help people who are stressed out own their lives in fewer than 5 minutes a day. So it's my great privilege to spend some time with you this morning talking about a new year and a new adventure because um, we've got a new year starting on Sunday. The first day of the new year, the first day of the week, and the first day of the month are all the same day. And I just think that's so auspicious for 2023 to be such an amazing year. Um, so let's get started. I've done a small slide deck and I have some ideas, and I'm hoping that what I have figured out about how to um, upload the files, that I can display it, but apparently I haven't figured out everything I need to because I can't display it. So I'm going to set it up next to me to help keep me on track, and I'm just going to keep talking to you. So it's a new year. It's time for a new adventure. What about your life would you like to see be different? There's different areas of our lives we can take a look at. For a lot of people, it's our physical well being. It is so easy in our modern world to get out of shape. We have sedentary jobs. Fast food is not, generally speaking, very healthy. And so we can exist on a diet that is not nourishing to us. Plus, we have factors that go into keeping us less than well hydrated. And sleep is a problem for a lot of people. So those four areas of physical well-being are ones that are an easy door to help step into our best life now. And so, what do you want to take a look at? Let me know in the comments what you want to take a look at. I have ideas. So let me tell you a little bit about the proprietary process that I use to help people. I take a look at all the factors. And so it's not just our physical well being that we take a look at. We take a look at our self concept, we take a look at our attitude, about how well our relationships are going, and about our spiritual connection. And so we take a look at all these different things. And our physical well being is one of those five different components that we pay attention to. So, physical well being has those four different areas. We need to be paying attention to healthy nourishment. We need to pay attention to physical movement. And we need to pay attention to hydration and to our spiritual connection and our sleep, not our spiritual connection. See, I get very hung up on this spiritual connection part. And so, part of what I teach a strategy called rest, on how to begin a new habit. And that I'll go into on the live next week. I'll get that scheduled when we're done here. Um, but today I'd like to take a look at what we are going to try to do. Not try, we will do. Like Yoda says, there is no try, there is do or not do. We will do this. For the different areas of your life, I've come up with two different sort of mini strategies you can use, because habit research shows that starting very, very small can be really a powerful thing to do. We start small. We start now. We start small. We start with one. And so we don't want to put it off too long. We're going to take a look at what we want to do starting today. Um, of course, the planning can take a few days. So we might take a look at what we want to do and strategize for a few days and then have a plan to actually start on Sunday, on the 1st. So our first thing we we're going to take a look at is healthy movement. Now, healthy movement, exercise, quality exercise, you know, and I know that quality exercise is a powerful way to make our lives better. It helps us with our metabolism so that we don't hold on to weight as much. It helps us with our mood because it helps us process all the negative things that happen. And it helps us with our mobility, our flexibility, our balance, our being limber. And so exercise is good for us all across the board. It helps our relationships. It helps everything. It helps our self-esteem. And somehow, until we get into a routine, it is very difficult to have daily exercise or even a weekly exercise rhythm. And so, how do we get started? Well, BJ Fogg talks about it in his work in Tiny Habits. You got to start really, really small. You got to do the simplest, easiest thing. And so here's two of the simple, easy things you could do to start a healthy movement. The first one is just get ready to work out every day. If it's if what's your barrier? Is it getting the outfit on? Is it driving to the gym? What's your barrier? What's the thing that gets too hard to do when you want to exercise? And so just get ready. For me, at one point in my life, it was remembering to bring my bag of gym clothes because my strategy was to go right after work and work out. And so if I left my gym clothes at home, I couldn't do it. And so remembering to do that was where I had to focus. Now, did I exercise every day that I brought my gym clothes? Not to begin with, but I did get to where I was. And so that's a lifetime ago in another location, in another life framework. So the very smallest thing, one of them can be to put your workout shoes on. I had one client that was her strategy. She put on her workout shoes, and to keep track of it, she sent me a picture of her in her shoes every day. And putting her workout shoes on helped her pay attention to that desire to work out. And paying attention is really key. So it's not just taking that minute or two to do what you need to do, it's keeping track of it, because keeping track tells our amygdala that this is important. And we'll learn more about that next week. The other 1 minute or less than 5 minute strategy would be to I don't remember what I put on my slide deck. So let's see if I can look at my slide deck. Track your motion for 5 minutes every day. You might have a 30-minute strategy, but just keep track of, if you do 5 minutes, make that your baseline. 5 minutes is your baseline, or 1 minute is your baseline. Because there are days when you don't feel like doing it. And if you can make yourself do it for 1 minute, you might be able to make yourself do it for 2 and 3 and 4. And, you might even be able to get the whole workout done. And then that feels really good. But if you only expect 1 minute from yourself or 5 minutes from yourself, and you're going to give yourself a point for that, then you will find the pleasure in doing it because you're keeping track. So that's healthy movement. Just make it so small, so doable that it's a no-brainer. You can't You can't just skip it. To add more healthy nourishment to your body, we all know what we need to do differently, right? We need to cut out um, cakes, pies, cookies, all the goodies that we've had over the last month with the holidays. Cakes, pies, cookies, candies, all the sweets, and some of the treats, the dressing and the gravy and the high fat and the high salt, high crisp, um, high oil snacks, the crunchy stuff. We probably need to let that go, but it's too overwhelming, right? And so just think not in terms of giving something up. Think in terms of adding something. So make sure you add one more serving of vegetables every day. And you can pick the vegetable and you can prepare it how you want to. Just make sure you add vegetables to your eating plan every or for the each day and keep track of that. Now, with these different strategies, I only want you to pick one strategy. Don't forget, it's start now, start small, start with one. And so, wherever you want to start, you're going to have one strategy. So, this is just ideas today. Okay. So, add one more vegetable each day. Or you could make a commitment to writing an eating plan every night before you go to sleep or whenever you go to sleep. Write your eating plan for the following day and keep track of doing that and give yourself points for getting it done. Now, whether you actually stick to the eating plan or not, what you put on the eating plan or not is all going to come into play eventually. But we're going to start out with writing that eating plan every day. When you take this small step and you're consistent with it, over time, it ingrains the idea that you're the kind of person who plans what they're going to eat. And it only follows that you're going to eat what you plan. So, those are two strategies for helping you with healthy nourishment. Now, let's take a look at hydration because hydration is so important. Did you know that when you get dehydrated, your mind gets fuzzy and it makes it harder to think? And I don't know about you, but there are jobs that I've had where I needed to be able to think and think on my feet, and being dehydrated did not help me. So, to add more hydration, what I want you to do instead of saying, I'm going to drink 64 ounces of water today or 100 ounces or whatever amount that you come up with, I want you to say, I'm going to drink one more 8-ounce glass of water every day. 8 ounces is not a lot of water. And I want you to drink it, not sip it. But again, keep track, make a note. The other possibility, one possibility for a small strategy to help you is to keep track of your water intake every day. Just make a little X every time you have 8 ounces of water. Be intentional about drinking water rather than sip it. You can sip it too, but if you drink water, you drink that little 8-ounce glass of water every day, then you can track how much you are intaking. 8 ounces of water, 8 times a day, 64 ounces. And that seems like a good place to start. Part of the wisdom is to drink as many ounces as half of your body weight. So at my body weight, I should have 75, no, 65 ounces a day. So 64 ounces is about right for me. So you figure out if you weigh 200 pounds, you probably want 100 ounces of water a day. If you weigh, what, you can do the math. So keep track of your water intake every day. So that's the third pillar. So we've looked at healthy movement, we've looked at nourishment, we've looked at water. Let's talk about sleep. Because sleep is something that we pretty generally lack in our society. People have a hard time getting quality rest. So, the first thing that I would suggestion I'd like to make, the first experiment you can try for a 5 minute or fewer habit, it's not a 5 minute or fewer habit. It is a 30-minute habit, but it only takes a few seconds to do it. The first thing is turn off all your electronic screens 30 minutes before you're going to bed. It only takes a few seconds to turn those things off, to shut down your computer, to turn down your phone, to turn off your phone, and put away your iPad and turn off the television. It only takes a few seconds to do that and track that and spend some time away from the screens. The screens have blue light, which stimulates your brain and it keeps you awake. And it stimulates your brain so much, sometimes it can interfere with your sleep. And so turn off those screens. Or a lot of people are sensitive to caffeine, and caffeine has a short half life, but any caffeine has an effect on your brain. And so if you don't know whether caffeine is a problem for you, I challenge you to check it out. Stop drinking caffeine at a certain time each day and see if it makes a difference. For me, drinking caffeine keeps me from being able to continue to sleep. I can get to sleep just fine, but when I wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning, I will not be able to go back to sleep if I've had caffeine the day before. And so that's one of the issues that came up for me. And so I recommend that you decide that you're going to stop drinking caffeine at a certain time each day. For me, when I started it, it was no caffeine after noon. And after a few weeks of that, and I was still having problems sleeping, I went to no caffeine after 10 in the morning. And that seemed to help for a while until it didn't help anymore. And so I don't drink caffeine by and large. I do drink decaffeinated coffee and decaffeinated tea, but I don't drink either of those after about 10 o'clock in the morning because decaffeinated drinks have caffeine. So, those are the suggestions that I have for you to start a new powerful strategy for stepping into your best life. I encourage you to go to find my link tree and grab your copy of the 911 self care blueprint that I've created that gives you more on the strategy and helps you know what to do. For this day, I am ending the broadcast. And thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. If I can help, if you want to reach out to me, definitely send me a message on Facebook Messenger, or you can get to me through um, Facebook Messenger is the best place to get through to me. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you next week.